So these are the codes for the PSR, the periodontal screening and recording, and we have 5 codes. They go from 0 to 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then there can also be an asterisk if necessary. Now, it isn't absolutely necessary that each sextant will have one, but if some of these features are present, we will give a sextant an asterisk. Every sextant only gets 1 code, so therefore in a mouth there will be 6 codes altogether. Code 0, which is the best code, refers to when you probe that entire sextant. If this colored band here on the probe is completely visible throughout the entire sextant when you're probing, there's no calculus, no bleeding, and no defective margins, that means that sextant is a code 0. The next code, a code 1, means that again you probe that entire sextant and you could see this colored part of the PSR probe was completely visible for the entire sextant. This time though there was some bleeding in any area of that sextant. Code 2 is slightly different, yet still quite similar. Code 2 means that you probed the entire sextant. You could still see this colored band for the entire sextant, yet there was calculus present. So even if you see one little bit of calculus in that sextant, but you could see this colored band the entire time, it's automatically a code 2. So what's similar between 0, 1, and 2 is that you could see this colored band the entire time. The difference is code 0 is no bleeding, no calculus, no defective margins. Code 1 means there was bleeding, and code 2 means there was calculus. Code 3 means that at the worst area of that sextant, part of this colored band on the probe disappeared, so it went subgingival. We don't worry about bleeding and calculus, just as if the worst area, part of this band was covered up, that is now a code 3. Code 4 means that if any area or the worst area of a sextant, the entire colored band here on the probe goes subgingival, automatically that is a code 4. And this again doesn't worry about bleeding or calculus or defective margins. Just if this entire colored band disappears subgingival, it's a code 4. If that happens, you can move on to the next sextant because there's no code that's higher than a 4. Any sextant that has furcation involvement, mobility, mucogingival problem, or 2 millimeters of recession or more will also get an asterisk. So how this looks when we go to record it on our sheet here, you see 6 boxes here. This is sextant 1, sextant 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Each box will only get 1 number, and that number, or that code, corresponds to the worst area in that particular sextant. We also will date it, so we'll go with yesterday's date. So if in sextant 1 I have a code 1, and that was the worst area, I'd give it a 1. Maybe code 0 for sextant 2. And these, of course, are just fictitious numbers, but what it means is I had a code 1 in sextant 1, a code 0, sextant 2, code 1, sextant 3, code 2, sextant 4, code 1, sextant 5, and code 2, sextant 6. If there was, let's say, 2 millimeters of recession on one of the anterior teeth on the lower, I'd give this an asterisk as well, just to indicate that there was a clinical abnormality.